In this tape, we're going to show you multiple attacks. Now, you shouldn't attempt this or even look at the film unless you have mastered the one-on-one and then also mastered the falling. The falling is very, very important because it goes fast and can be very, very dangerous for the person who is attacking. Now, because when you have a multiple attack, 3 and 4 or 5 attacking you, you are the center of all the movements, so you are always under control. You control all the movements. And so when they come at you, you will already have created centrifugal force to ready to throw them very easily. You don't stay there and fight and stand there and go against and challenge their strength. You will utilize their energy. And the flow of energy is what makes it so easy to be able to handle 4 and 5 at one time. It gets to be very, very exciting. This is the beauty and the power of Aikido. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy this advanced tape.
Let's begin our multiple training with group warm-ups. Everyone should be thoroughly stretched out and conditioned before the advanced techniques begin. Many of these were explained on tapes 1 and 2, but of course it doesn't hurt to warm up for any class.
Both legs up. Stretch. Release.
Conditioning is very important for
Stretch.
preventing injuries.
Release. Stretch.
Begin with the feet together,
Release. Legs open.
stretching,
Left.
then
Stretch.
legs apart. Hold the stretch.
Release.
Keep the knees
Right.
locked, toes
Stretch.
back. Pull the toes back with your hand.
Release. Down the middle. Stretch. Release. Left. Stretch.
Work side to
Release.
side,
Down the middle.
and to
Stretch.
center.
Release. Right. Stretch. Release. Bring your legs in. Grab your ankles. Push down. The elbows on the knees. Stretch. Release. Stretch. Release.
Push down with the
Grab the
elbows,
toes.
bringing your thighs to the floor. Grab under your
Your
toes.
chin toward the mat. Stretch.
Lean forward. And
Release.
again, pushing down with your elbows on your
Stretch.
thighs. Relax when you stretch.
Release. On your knees.
Besides conditioning and strengthening the body,
Stretch
it
back.
feels good.
Stretch.
It's relaxing. It releases tension.
And up. Weight underside. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stretch.
Lean back, stretching the
And up.
thighs,
Weight underside.
laying on the
1,
insteps of the feet.
2, 3, 4. Shoulder exercise. Forward.
Shoulder
Back.
rotations to loosen the shoulders.
Neck exercise.
Relaxed muscles
Turn to
are
the
more
right.
flexible and respond more quickly. Your reflexes are quite fast
Left.
when the muscles are relaxed.
And around.
Neck rotations. Again, relax.
Reverse.
Stretch.
Kodagaesh. 1, 2.
Stretching the wrists. This
Three,
is very vital for
4.
Aikido
Switch.
training
1,
because so much
2,
emphasis is placed on wrist
3, 4.
arm locks,
Switch. 1,
finger techniques.
2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2.
Good stretch. Keep
3,
the cadence.
4.
You should be
Switch.
following along at
1,
home.
2, 3, and 4. Switch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nikyo. 1, 2,
Next technique,
3,
stretch the
4.
fingers
Switch.
up to the forearm.
1, 2, 3,
Notice the
Four,
great
switch.
flexibility
One,
the students have.
2, 3, 4,
It may be a
switch.
little sore in the
1,
beginning, but after
2,
about a month,
3, 4,
you'll see a
Sancho.
tremendous improvement
1,
in your
2,
dexterity of the hands,
3, 4,
wrists, and
switch.
fingers.
1, 2, 3, 4, switch. 1, 2.
All Aikido classes
3,
begin this way.
4, switch. 1, 2.
Like any sport, you
3,
must warm up properly,
and
again,
4.
to prevent injuries.
1, 2.
Now, basic rolls to warm up.
1, 2. 1, 2.
Keep the right foot
3,
under, left foot out,
4.
rolling back.
Up to the knee. 1,
Your head never touches the floor.
2. 1,
Now roll, come up to the knee.
1, 2, 3, 4. All the way up. 1, 2,
These are basic rolls, building to the more advanced.
2,
Now roll up, stand up.
1, 2,
Roll down and back. Roll up,
One.
stand up.
2, 3, 4. Right leg on top. Sitting position.
Now opposite side.
1, 2.
Learn to do both sides equally when
One.
warming up.
2,
Never favor one side over the
One.
other.
2,
The weak side will only get
3,
weaker.
4. To the knee.
Always maintain good
1,
balance in your training. Be a
2,
well-rounded
1,
Aikidoist.
2, 1.
You must learn how to roll and fall on each side
Three.
because in a confrontation
Four.
you never
Oh, yeah.
know which way you
One.
might be thrown.
2, 1, 2,
Roll, stand up,
1,
drop and roll.
2,
The whole body moves as one
3,
unit. It flows.
4.
Very smooth.
Hopping exercise. Left leg out front. Back on 1, up on 2. 1,
Now basic footwork, evading
Two.
the attack.
1,
Avoiding the force of the opponent.
3,
Evade, just out of reach,
4.
and
Right
then of
leg
course
up.
you would be redirecting the attack.
1,
Other side,
1,
simply hop back
2,
and drag the front foot back.
3, 4. Turn
Hands down at
exercise.
the
Left leg on
sides.
front. 1,
Aikidoists do not strike a guard
2,
posture. Their hands remain at their sides,
One.
showing no anger. It's a defensive art of love and harmony, not viciousness
3,
and destruction.
4. Right
It's
leg
an
on
art that
front.
seeks to
1,
subdue the attacker by using his own force against himself.
1, 2, 3,
Aikidoists only use their art
4.
as a last resort.
Ready? 1, 2,
Next preparatory exercise
3,
is a
4,
technique to block and protect the head area.
6, 7,
Looking forward,
8,
drag the rear
One.
foot as you go forward,
2,
raising the hands head height,
3,
hands open and
Four.
relaxed.
5,
Concentrate your center
6,
or your key.
7, 8,
Concentrate it down to
One.
strengthen your stance
2,
and make it
3,
very stable and balanced.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2,
Aikido is a very
Three.
deceptive looking art.
4,
The movements look simple,
6,
but when applied to an assault and
Eight.
attack, they have a
1,
devastating effect on the opponent
3,
as they send him
Four.
tumbling, using his
Five.
force against himself.
6, 7, 8.
Watch the application of the technique. Sidestep, blocking, the head strike. As the strike comes down, step out of the way and protection. Now, advanced falling techniques. Two lines crisscross each other. These are called suicide rolls, only for advanced students. They're working all their rolling and falling techniques as a group, just missing each other. This creates timing, builds confidence. Look at the great height they can reach without injuring themselves because they know how to roll with the technique, coordinating the mind and body. Knowing how to take a fall builds tremendous confidence in a student. Many people do not know how to fall properly. If someone were to knock you down, would you know how to regain yourself? How to avoid injury, how to hit the ground without getting hurt. It's not easy. It takes time. It takes practice. Now, we'll start out very basic. Aikido techniques against two assailants. Master Ken Ota will demonstrate. Two attackers grab his wrist. Watch the technique. He relaxes, raises his arms, bending his wrist, creating a forward force as he leans forward, sending the opponents over on their sides. Watch. Force up, starts the momentum. The quick release down sends the opponents forward. Aikido is the art of harmony, where you're always working together. You go with the technique. If you try and resist, you'll get hurt. Because there always is an alternate technique if you resist. Next technique. Very effective, watch. Going underneath, crossing the arms, tying up the opponents, and sending them down on their backs. Master Ota has tremendous power, the power of ki. He creates his center, which controls the opponents. Look at it from the rear. This tape is very advanced and should not be attempted unless you have mastered tapes 1 through 5 of Master Ota's series. Crosses, draws the other hands in. Drives them down. Again. Underneath. The opponents are totally confused. He drops under, creates a downward force, then an upward force, then a backward force. It's this constant interplay of forces that creates the power of Aikido. Always confusing your opponents, sending them off balance in different directions, using their force against themselves. When confronted with two attackers, do not show fear. Use their force against themselves. You hear this said many times, but this is the essence of Aikido technique. Another technique, watch closely. The master starts a centrifugal force, manipulating and leading the opponents where he wants them. Once he gets the force going, he directs his energy into a wrist lock, taking them down. He has each one in a wrist lock. If they try and resist, he applies more pressure, hence more pain. So he controls his opponents, taking them down. They're helpless at this point. Quickly, look at the force he creates. Use your imagination. Become Master Oda's shadow. Follow along. Even though you don't have an opponent, go through the movements. Create the force. Another technique. Watch again. Steps back, then drives forward, pushing them to the ground. Creates the force, redirects. It's as if they ran into a brick wall. They run into the palms of his hands and then he pushes back. Watch again. Now in slow motion, notice the big step back. He draws his arms in, then palms push on the chest. Like dominoes, they fall. Watch. As the punch comes, he blocks, gets the opponent in an arm lock, and uses him against his opponent. He uses one opponent against the other. Ends with a chicken arm lock, as demonstrated on tape 3. Blocks the face punch, comes out of the chokehold, and controls the situation very easily. Now the master simply drops to the ground using the power of his ki, or center force. By concentrating his energy down into the ground, look how relaxed his hands are. He fully controls his opponents. They're trying to pull him up, trying to stand him up. But he weighs a ton to them because of his inner power. He's frustrating them. He's making a fool out of them. 2 against 1, and they cannot move him. This is ki power. Again, as explained on tape 1. Now, basic defensive techniques against 2 attackers while in continuous motion. This is advanced and commonly referred to as randori training. The master starts out slow against 2 of his students. This is not prearranged. As they attack, he reacts through instinct. He controls the 2 opponents. They do not control him. His constant movement creates the centrifugal force. His movements flow. If you saw that happen to your partner, wouldn't you hesitate before you go in on a man like that? Think about it. Don't panic when assaulted by more than one person. Through training, you can control the situation. The master becomes the eye of the tornado. Everything whirls around him. This is the theory and technique of Aikido. Being a moving target is much harder to hit or control than a stationary one, and you never want to meet your force directly. The opponent grabs his wrist. The master keeps moving, sending him over his back. Continuous flow, continuous motion, always neutralizing the opponents. Side steps, palm heels to the face, sending the opponent on his back. Same technique. Very simple but effective. Randori, or training multiple techniques, is excellent for developing instinctive reflexes, how to react without thinking, reacting with the subconscious mind. If you try and calculate, you can never win. It has to become natural. Now again, against two opponents. Creating that centrifugal force, constantly moving, keeping the energy flowing into the universe. The energy extends beyond the master's body. Keep your opponents off guard. Keep them moving. Keep them frustrated, confused. Sidestep, palm heel to the face. It's as if the master had a sixth sense. He seems to be evading and knowing what they're going to do before they do it. Only through many years of training can you develop this instinct. Now, the techniques of Aikido against 3 attackers. We'll start from a stationary position. One has them in a chokehold, one on each wrist. Breaks away, tying them up and driving them back. Watch closely. He drops under, creating the force, redirecting his force into a back drop technique. He ties them all up in knots with his circular movements. In slow motion now. Dropping out of the choke. As you move, your opponents will try to grab tighter. They want to hold on, they want to control you, but they can't. By holding on tighter, they actually add to your technique. They make it more devastating. Wow, take a look. The master directs his force in 2 different directions. Let's break it down. His arms go up and down. But when his arms go down, they're like redwood trees, tremendous strength and power. He concentrates his ki, or inner power, down into the earth. Now, fighting 3 opponents, defending yourself while moving. This will be demonstrated by Sensei Steve Ota, Master Ota's son. Watch the evasive tactics. He constantly keeps moving. This could be a gang attack, never staying in one spot, causing damage as he goes. Of course, in a real fight, after one slam to the ground, it's doubtful the attacker would get up. But this is randori training. The Aikido student knows how to fall, and he's right back up, attacking again. He's learning, and the sensei is learning from the techniques. Goes under the attack, lets his opponent go by. Why struggle with him? When fighting multiples, you cannot spend time with one. You must keep moving. The others will be on you like a pack of wolves. You must keep your centrifugal force flowing. Control everyone with your center, your ki. Never lose sight of it. Once you break concentration, you're finished. He directs one opponent against the other, causing total confusion amongst the multiple people attacking. Now, very advanced techniques against 4 attackers. 4 is the most dangerous group to be attacked by. The reason being, one can cover each angle, front, side, back, side. You have to create tremendous force, constantly flowing, moving, controlling everyone. Look at the constantly shifting footwork. Never in one spot. Using the hips to throw, to shift. Sensei Steve Ota has full control of the situation. He is an Aikido expert with many years of experience. Every move is subconscious, it just happens. There's no thinking about it, there's no time to think about it. This could be a street situation. You're going to the parking lot to get in your car, all of a sudden there's 3 or 4 attackers around you. What do? If you have to fight for your life, Aikido can show you a positive way of defending yourself. Never staying still, always a moving target. Now let's take some techniques from that series and break them down for you. This technique was used against 2 attackers, coming one after the other. Drop underneath, catch the other one, over the shoulder throw. Watch. Drop, take them over, and over. In slow motion, dropping, lifting up. Now, redirect your ki upward and then down, sending your opponent on his back. Again. Look at the perfect timing at the last moment. Dropping, lifting up, ready to meet the other assailant. If you stayed down, you'd be finished. You must keep your eyes on everyone. Perfect timing, follow through as your opponent tries to grab your lapel. Next technique, push into the chest and flip. Sidestep, palms to the chest, send your opponent on his back. Catch under the arm, flip over. Excellent form. At full speed. Again. Timing, flow, key. Everything applies here. There's no room for any mistakes against multiple attackers. Look at it from the front. Sensei Steve Otis stands there calmly at the last moment, shifts his weight, slams into the chest of his opponent, sends him on his back. He's taken care of. He's in an upward position to meet the other attacker and send him on his way. This tape completes Master Oda's dynamic 6-tape series on Aikido. We truly hope you have enjoyed it. For obtaining Master Oda's other tapes, contact Panther Productions. And keep in mind, Master Oda is available for Aikido seminars. He is praised throughout the world as one of the greatest teachers of this dynamic and exciting art. Through daily practice and viewing of these videos, you are on your way to becoming an outstanding Aikido practitioner. Best of luck.